The 12 Days of FLUFFENMASS. Tales of festive grimness and dark festival.
Gifts from Red. Written by Adam Nichol. Read by Adam Nichol. Boom! Each explosion shook the snow-ridden trenches, an airborne tremor that aimed its anger at the ground. Boom! The rain of explosive metal came again and again, each shell a promise of pain, a promise of death, a gleaming nightmare, gifting only oblivion. Boom! 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 Hasek made his way unsteadily through the frozen scar in the earth. The trenches of Venosi had been his home for many months now. He struggled to remember the days before the mud, before the snow and the ice. Venosi was a world of blizzards and storms, of lives never to reach old age. The world was a meat grinder of souls. Hasek hated it. He came from a hive world, where the closest thing he saw to a sky was ferrocrete overhead, spires and arches holding up the higher levels, the places of daydreams and untold riches. He'd always said he'd make it up a level, become someone. It appeared that on Venosi, that somebody would be a frozen corpse. The majority of his regiment had been utterly destroyed by the shelling, wiped out in failed charge after failed charge. The trenches had not moved forward these past 6 months, and Hasek had more than enough of the unchanging, frozen landscape. He had found a way out, from mutterings and rumours from the ground troops. He had found a way to survive the curse befallen the Kranos Third. Mikulus was the lone Adeptus Mechanicum, who had gained a legend for being able to bless weaponry. It was said that for a price, Mikulus would upgrade your equipment, and in doing so, he would increase your luckiness on the open field. Xantas from the Rotorus 7th had said that he'd managed to survive a shelling whilst doing repairs to his platoon's tank. Xantas said the shells and mortars kept shifting mid-air, and he was in the only clear zone for miles. He had survived after going to see Mikulus, where so many others in that push had been pulverized. Hasek pushed open the heavy-set door that led to the tech priest's habitat, noting the augmented Jokero that tinkered and fiddled with various unrecognizable forms of technology. One of the orange-furred simians welded what appeared to be an oxygen tank to some form of floating platform, whilst another sat surrounded by circuitry. It felt somewhat blasphemous to be in this graveyard of the machine spirits. After the corridors of shells and scrap came the inner sanctum, a circular room of monitors and aux speakers. A single chair sat in the centre on ever-shifting gimbals. Hasek took in the constantly moving chair that chased the screens as they sped across the spherical walls in a maddening dance that hurt the eye to watch. Suddenly, all movement stopped, and the chair, with its heavily augmented inhabitant, span towards the guardsmen, a low noise growling from the form of the tech priest. 2 yellow points of light stared at Hasek from underneath a dark red hood, lined with frost white. From the shadowed face came an eruption of silver wires and pipes that cascaded down his chest.
"How can I help you, guardsman?"
"Lord Mechanicus, I have come to ask a favor. I have come to ask the favor you have bestowed upon my fellows." Hasek struggled to remember the words he had been taught to say, that he had tried to memorize after speaking to various friends and allies in the Astra Militarum.
"You come to ask. You do not come to bargain. How very forward of you, guardsmen. How very tired these favors have become."
Hasek had been told that this was also a test of chastising him for being so, well, unmilitant. "What would you ask of me, Lord Mechanicus?"
"There is little I need, and less I desire, guardsman."
"What would you ask of me, Lord Mechanicus?"
"Less of the Lord, little guardsman. My name is Nicholas, and I am no lofty lord. I am the binary, the 1 and the 0, the yes and the no. There is simply correct or incorrect, and to name us Lord is incorrect, though I understand the reasoning and the flattery."
"What would you ask of me, Lord Nicholas?"
"I see you are not to be dissuaded, are you, little guardsman? This is understandable, for this is a world of darkness and cold, isn't it?"
Hasek became aware of the Jokero standing in a circle around him, one with augmented cybernetic eyes glowing red in the gloom.
"Rudo,"
said the tech priest,
"bring me the las gun. 442, I think."
The red-eyed Jokero moved silently through the gloom, climbing up through the neon lights and the deep shadows of the sanctum, searching through shelves and boxes, returning only after finding a lasgun that looked no different to the one Hasek himself carried now.
"This weapon has been blessed, little Hasek. Blessed by machine spirits, blessed by my order. It shall keep you safe, but in return I ask you to appease these spirits. Never let it leave your side. You must talk to it, pray with it. It must be your faithful companion, or it will no longer want to keep you safe. Take them, and if they keep you safe, be honest. Why and where? Let our machine spirits keep you alive to fight, and we shall be glad to consider further requests."
Hasek thanked the tech priest, and still looking at the lasgun began to feel a sense of calm, a reduction in anxiousness.
"One moment, guardsman."
The tech priest raised a red-sleeved arm.
"Do not tell the commissariat, however. They do not understand the need for singular survival in the ranks. They see only the planet. They think too large. They don't see the small, weak flesh."
Hasek felt that there was some form of mockery taking place, but as soon as this thought rose, it melted away, replaced with a calmness, a serenity he had not felt in some time. He nodded and walked dreamlike away from the sanctum, back to the ice and the snow and the sound of the mortar and shells. The door opened. Boom! Boom! Boom!
"Hail, Abaddon,"
said the Mechanicus priest, swinging his chair back towards the bank of signal switches that would mark a new, unknowing convert to the cause of chaos. Boom.